A small town in rural New York is preparing to host a Little League baseball game. Lee Abbott goes to the store to buy some snacks while listening to a news broadcast about strange incidents happening overseas. At the baseball field, the Abbott family gathers. Evelyn is with her children, Marcus and little Beau. Meanwhile, Reagan, their deaf daughter, stands not far from them. Even Thomas Shelby is seen watching the game, playing the role of Emmett. Suddenly, a massive meteor crashes through the atmosphere. Panic spreads rapidly. Within minutes, chaos erupts. Terrifying monsters, giant, eyeless creatures with ultra-sensitive hearing, invade the town. They destroy anything that makes a sound. In the midst of the chaos, Evelyn spots one of the monsters chasing her. She sees her husband and decides to retreat, narrowly avoiding being hit by a crashing bus. Reagan tries to run after her mother, but Lee quickly steps in to protect Reagan and attempts to escape. The streets are filled with screams, shattering glass, and blood. Lee and Reagan hide inside a store, avoiding the monster hunting them. Everyone inside stays completely silent. An old man begins praying, but Lee quickly covers his mouth to prevent any noise. Suddenly, a woman's phone rings. The monster slaughters everyone in the restaurant. Lee and Reagan run for their lives. Marcus sees his father and Reagan running. A police officer tries to help by firing a shotgun, but it's not enough. Day 474. After the invasion, Evelyn is now raising her 3 children, Reagan, Marcus, and her newborn son, on her own. They live in the ruins, communicating only through sign language and moving with extreme caution. After their home is destroyed, they decide to leave. Carrying the baby in a soundproof oxygen box to keep him quiet, they walk along silent railway tracks, hoping to find safety. But as they walk, Evelyn steps on a trap, causing a loud noise. The family runs in fear. Marcus steps on a bear trap and screams in pain. His cry attracts a monster. Reagan uses her father's old microphone and hearing device to emit a high-pitched frequency, disabling the monster's hearing. Evelyn shoots and kills the creature. Unbeknownst to them, they are being watched. Reagan helps Marcus and carries the baby to shelter, an old abandoned factory. Inside, they are pulled in, and Evelyn's mouth is covered. The mysterious man carries Marcus and leads them all to safety inside an underground bunker. That man is Emmett, the Abbotts' former neighbor. Now, he lives alone in a hidden bunker in an old steel mill. Emmett lost his wife and child to the monsters. He's become cold, cynical, and no longer believes anyone can survive. Emmett initially doesn't want them to stay. He gives them only one night. But Evelyn begs. She needs time to treat Marcus's wounds and care for her baby. That night, Reagan hears a faint radio broadcast. The song Beyond the Sea keeps repeating. She's convinced it's a code, a clue to a safe haven hidden on a remote island, only accessible by sea. The next morning, Reagan leaves quietly. She brings a weapon and her father's sound device, which emits high-frequency sound through her hearing aid, capable of weakening the monsters. Evelyn panics upon realizing Reagan is gone. She begs Emmett to go after her and bring her back. But Emmett sees Reagan's determination. She isn't running. She's fighting. Just like her father, Lee. Reagan explores a wrecked train and finds a medical kit inside. But a human skull falls into her hands, causing her to scream. The scream attracts a monster. The monster approaches Reagan. Using her microphone and hearing aid, the high-frequency sound terrifies the creature. Reagan fires her gun, but misses. The monster is still alive, and Reagan struggles to reload. Thankfully, Emmett arrives just in time and shoots the monster dead. But the gunshot is loud. Knowing more monsters will come, they immediately search for shelter. That night, Emmett and Reagan arrive at a harbor. But there, they face a new threat: humans. Emmett is ambushed by a child who traps his neck with a rope. Reagan is taken hostage by a group of savage survivors. Emmett tells Reagan to swim away while he distracts the group's leader. The noise draws monsters rapidly toward them. Emmett binds the leader and stabs his leg, leaving him to be devoured. Emmett and Reagan escape to a boat. They sail to the island. There is no sound, only the wind and crashing waves. They find a small, peaceful community that appears safe. Back at the bunker, Evelyn goes into town to search for medicine and oxygen. She leaves Marcus and the baby behind. Out of curiosity, Marcus explores the factory. He discovers the decaying corpse of Emmett's wife in a separate room, haunting and silent. Accidentally, Marcus knocks over an object, making a loud sound. A monster storms into the factory. Marcus panics, grabs the baby, and hides in the soundproof bunker. But the oxygen is running low. Marcus struggles to breathe. Evelyn returns, only to find the factory under attack. With incredible courage, she distracts the monster with fire and attempts to save her children. The flowing water sound masks all noise, and she successfully rescues Marcus and the baby. Meanwhile, Regan and Emmett arrive on the island. There they find a peaceful community of survivors. It turns out the monsters cannot swim. That's why the island is safe. The community's leader, Jimon, welcomes them. Regan explains the radio broadcast and her plan to transmit the high-frequency sound from the island's radio station, so others can fight back. They head to the radio station, but then something terrifying happens. Emmett, lost in thought, strolls along the beach. He's shocked to find a boat, one that had drifted ashore overnight, carrying a monster inside. The monster sneaks onto the island, accidentally brought by the drifting boat. The once peaceful island turns into a slaughterhouse. Jimon urges Emmett and Regan to escape by car, with the monster chasing them. They rush to the radio tower, but Jimon remembers his family. A monster grabs his leg from below. He dies. Unexpectedly, there's already a monster inside the radio station, waiting. Trying to sneak into the broadcasting room without making noise is nearly impossible. Meanwhile, back in the bunker, Evelyn is gathering food supplies to survive, unaware that a monster is behind her. She rushes into the bunker, but the door doesn't close in time, and they are nearly attacked. Regan opens the broadcast room door, unknowingly causing a creaking noise. Emmett realizes it and is chased by the monster, injuring his leg. He tries to shut the door and tells Regan to activate the broadcast. Regan, using her hearing aid, emits the high-frequency sound. The monster recoils in fear. She slams the on-air button, broadcasting the sound to everyone. Regan grabs a rod and kills the monster. Meanwhile, Marcus, using the radio signal, kills the monster near him by grabbing a pistol and shooting it in the head. Both Marcus and Regan prove they are no longer frightened children. They are the new generation of fighters, the bearers of hope. Ending. The film ends with a tense yet hopeful atmosphere. The high-frequency sound can now be broadcast to the world. Humanity finally has a weapon against the monsters. Regan, following in her father's footsteps, doesn't just survive. She fights back. In a world silenced by fear, her small voice brings a massive change.